Right now, millions of homes across Britain still have an old-style landline plugged into the wall. Soon, every single one of those phones will stop working in the way you have always known. By the 31st of January 2027, the entire old copper telephone network across the United Kingdom will be switched off for good. If you are over 50 and rely on your landline, this change could affect you more than almost anyone else. There is a real risk that your phone could go silent during a power cut with no warning at all. There is also a fresh wave of scammers using this very switchover as an excuse to trick pensioners out of their savings. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what is changing, why it matters, and the simple steps that keep you safe. You will also learn what to do if you use a personal alarm and how to spot a scam call before it costs you a penny. This is not a future problem you can ignore because the switchover is already happening street by street right now in 2026. Telecoms companies across the country are moving customers from the old analog landline system onto a new digital system called Voice over Internet Protocol, or VoIP for short. VoIP simply means your phone calls travel through your broadband internet connection instead of through old copper wires under the street. Your actual phone number will stay exactly the same, so nobody you know needs to be told anything different. Later in this video, I will explain exactly what happens to your phone if the electricity goes off in your home. I will also explain why nearly 2 million pensioners using telecare alarms need to check something important before they get switched over. And I will show you the exact words criminals are using on the phone right now to convince older people to hand over their money. This matters in 2026 because providers such as BT, Sky, and Virgin Media are actively contacting customers and switching lines every single week. Government regulator Ofcom has confirmed that the old copper network is being retired because it is aging, costly to maintain, and increasingly unreliable. But here's what most people do not realize about this switchover until it is too late. The very first problem is that digital phones need electricity to work, and the old copper landline never did. Your old landline was powered down the phone line itself, straight from the telephone exchange, so it kept working even in a total power cut. A digital phone instead depends on your broadband router, and your router depends on the electricity supply to your home. This means that if your power goes out, your digital phone line could go completely dead at exactly the moment you might need it most. Imagine a woman named Margaret, aged 78, living alone in rural Yorkshire, who has used the same landline number for 40 years. One winter evening, a storm knocks out the power across her village for several hours. Margaret picks up her phone to call her daughter, only to find there is no dial tone at all. Because nobody told her about battery backup units, she has no way of calling for help until the electricity returns. This exact situation is why Ofcom and providers now require every household to be offered a free battery backup device before they are switched over. A battery backup unit plugs into your router and phone equipment and can typically keep a basic phone line working for around 1 hour during a power cut. If you have not been offered one, you are entitled to ask your provider directly, and it should not cost you anything extra. There is another issue almost nobody talks about, and it concerns personal safety alarms. Around 2 million people across the UK rely on a telecare alarm, often worn as a pendant, to call for help in a fall or medical emergency. Many of these alarms were originally designed to work through the old analog copper line, sending a signal straight to a monitoring center. When a home is switched to a digital line without warning, some older telecare alarms can stop working properly or fail to connect at all. If you, or someone you care for, uses a personal alarm pendant, you must contact the alarm company before any landline switch happens. Ask your alarm provider directly whether your device is compatible with digital VoIP lines, and request a free compatibility check if you are unsure. Most major alarm providers, including those linked to local councils, have already begun upgrading equipment, but not every household has been contacted yet. Telecoms regulator Ofcom has stated that providers must identify vulnerable customers and offer extra support before any switchover takes place. If your provider has not asked you about an alarm, a medical condition, or a power-dependent device, you should tell them yourself before agreeing to switch. Here is a second major risk hiding inside this whole transition, and it is a financial one. Scammers are aware that millions of older people are receiving letters and phone calls about the landline switch right now. This creates the perfect cover story for criminals pretending to be from your phone company, your bank, or even the government. A common scam call begins with someone claiming your line needs urgent verification because of the digital switchover taking place this year. The caller then asks you to confirm your bank details, your date of birth, or a one-time passcode sent to your phone. Once they have that passcode, criminals can often access your online banking and move money out of your account within minutes. Imagine a man named Frank, aged 81, who receives a call claiming to be from his broadband provider about the landline upgrade. The caller sounds polite, mentions his correct address, and says his pension payments could be delayed unless he confirms his account number. Frank, trusting the caller because they already knew personal details about him, reads out his bank account number over the phone. Within the hour, Frank discovers that several £100s have been withdrawn from his account by someone he has never met. This kind of fraud is reportedly costing UK pensioners millions of pounds every single year, according to figures from Action Fraud. But there is something simple and powerful that can stop almost every version of this scam before it even starts. No genuine bank, government department, or telecoms company will ever ask you for your full PIN, password, or a one-time passcode over the phone. They will also never ask you to transfer your savings into a so-called safe account to protect it from fraud. If a caller ever says the word safe account, you should treat that as an instant warning sign of a scam. If you are ever unsure whether a call claiming to be from your bank is genuine, hang up immediately and do not call any number they give you. Instead, dial 59, which is a free short number that connects you directly and safely to your bank in the UK. The number 159 works in the same way as 999 for emergencies, except it is dedicated entirely to checking suspicious bank-related calls. If you receive a suspicious text message instead of a phone call, you can forward it for free to the number 726. Forwarding a text to 7726 reports it directly to your mobile network, helping them block the scammer's number from contacting others. There is another pattern worth knowing about, because criminals often create a deadline to make you panic and act quickly. A typical scam script will claim your landline will be cut off within 24 hours, unless you act immediately on the phone. Genuine telecoms providers always give written notice by post, usually weeks in advance, before any switchover takes place at your address. If someone on the phone demands an instant decision today, that pressure itself is one of the clearest signs of a scam. Here's a practical example of how the legitimate process actually works, so you can compare it to any suspicious call you receive. Imagine a woman named Susan, age 67, who receives a letter from her provider explaining that her switchover date is set for next month. The letter explains clearly that her number will stay the same, and that a free battery backup unit will be delivered before the switch. Susan is also given a direct customer service number printed on her existing bill, rather than a number read out over the phone by a stranger. Because everything matches her existing paperwork and account, Susan can confidently confirm the details are genuine before proceeding. This is exactly the standard you should hold every single phone call to, whether it claims to be about your landline, your pension, or your bank. There is a further detail worth understanding about how the switchover is being rolled out across the country. Providers are moving customers over gradually, area by area, rather than switching the entire country off on a single day. This means your neighbor may already have a digital phone line, while your own street has not been switched over yet. You will usually receive at least one letter, and often a phone call from your own provider before any change happens to your line. If you have not been contacted yet, that simply means your switch date has not arrived, and there is no need to panic. When your switchover date does arrive, an engineer visit is not always required, since many providers can activate the digital line remotely. You should still test your phone line on the day of the switch by making a short call to a friend or family member. If your phone does not work after the switch, contact your provider immediately using the number printed on a genuine paper bill or letter. There is one more important update worth knowing about for anyone who relies heavily on their landline for daily contact. Consumer groups, including Age UK, have pushed providers to guarantee extra support for customers who are elderly, disabled, or living alone. This support can include priority engineer visits, extended battery backup options, and simplified instructions sent in larger print where requested. If you feel you need extra support because of your age or health, you are entitled to ask your provider directly for it. Let us bring everything together now so you know exactly what to do next. The old copper landline network across the UK will be fully switched off by the 31st of January 2027. Your phone number stays the same, but your new digital line depends on electricity and your broadband router to function. Always request a free battery backup unit from your provider so your phone can still work for a short time during a power cut. If you or a family member uses a personal alarm pendant, contact the alarm provider directly to confirm it works with a digital line. Never give your PIN, password, or a one-time passcode to anyone calling you, no matter how official they sound. Remember that no genuine organization will ever ask you to move your money into a safe account. If you are ever unsure about a call claiming to be your bank, hang up and dial 59 to check safely. Forward any suspicious text messages to 7726, completely free of charge, to help stop scammers reaching other people too. Trust written letters and existing bills over unexpected phone calls, especially when someone is creating urgency or a tight deadline. Staying informed is the single best protection you have against both confusion and fraud during this entire transition. If this video helped you understand the landline switchover and how to stay safe from scams, please consider giving it a like. Subscribing to this channel means you will not miss future videos explaining government changes, pension updates, and ways to protect your money. Sharing this video with a parent, neighbor, or friend could genuinely help protect them from losing money to a scam call. Thank you for watching, and stay safe as this change reaches your area over the coming months.